Hello, hello. Welcome back to week 7. It took me a little while longer to record this video, but it is because the spark of creation is back. Um, just through half of the course, a little more than that. And yeah, it's coming back up. There are so many exciting little shifts that are happening. There are so many new connections happening with people and with myself, with the artist within me, with my inner child, with so many things, which probably also has a lot to do with me leaving Bali. I'm just like really enjoying my last few weeks. It's less than 3 weeks now, which is crazy to think about for me. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get back into it. This week was about recovering a sense of connection. We turn this week to the practice of right attitudes for creativity. The emphasis is on your receptive as well as active skills. The essays, exercises, and tasks aim at excavating areas of genuine creative interest as you connect with your personal dreams. And that's literally how it felt like. It's so interesting because it is, every time I look back on the chapter when I do these videos to prepare myself, I'm like, that's literally exactly what happened. So again, if you have been thinking about reading this book, I can highly recommend. I will love to know how like it works for you, what is coming up for you when you find these videos and you're already in the middle of it and it's the same week. Please tell me if it's like something similar to you that happened. One of the things that really helped me when I got into this was the act of listening, like understanding what that really means, of allowing yourself to listen into the deep voice within that wants you to be creative, that wants you to get back in touch with your inner artist and your inner child. And that's like the first part of this chapter as well. Art is not about thinking something up, it is about the opposite, getting something down. When we get something down, there is no strain. We are not doing, we are getting. Someone or something else is doing the doing. Instead of reaching for inventions, we are engaged in listening. And doing the artist dates, which I have been lacking on, I have to be honest with you, but I do a lot of other like small things that bring me fun and that activate that within me. And I think I just found like a different way of myself for myself to doing that. So I'm not actively necessarily going out and doing like being on a date and doing something, but like I'm staying in and like just allow myself to have fun and play around and create new videos. If you know me, you know that I'm a very big Michael Jackson fan, and this biopic coming out like brings up so much more energy around Michael Jackson. So many people are reawakened to who he was, to their love that they had for him, or are discovering Michael for the first time. And that is bringing me so much joy because like I've always lived in that space. I've never not lived in that space. It feels like I was born 88. That was like his peak. So I was a fan since I can remember. Like my fourth birthday party, I have a video of it. Michael Jackson is blasting in the background and I'm like vibing to it. There was a very long time when I was a toddler up to like being 10 or so that I kissed a poster of him goodnight every night. And so I'm like, I've been a fan since forever. So it really brings me joy to see all the love coming up again. So I'm creating a lot of Michael Jackson content right now, which is really fun for me. And I'm super excited for it. If you are interested, like check my other video. I just dropped a video a couple of days ago by the time this video is up, which is a video where I draw the parallels from Michael to Jesus because I really truly believe that he embodied Christ consciousness. And it's a super interesting video. I'm very proud of it. I put a lot of work into it. Yeah, I would love for you to tell me how it resonates. Leave a comment, like, share on this video and on the other one. And then there's a lot of content on my Instagram as well. Okay, let's get back into this though. These moments of clear inspiration require that we move into them on faith. We can practice these small leaps of faith daily in our pages, the morning pages, and on the oddest dates. We can learn not to only listen, but also to hear with increasing accuracy that inspired, intuitive voice that says, do this, try this, say this. And that's really like what has been happening. Like, it's so interesting, like, even with the pivots and me, like, taking 2 weeks instead just of a week in the last two chapters, I think, how it like rearranged itself to be during the time when the Michael biopic came out, that like sparked so much, inspiration within me again to create again in a different way. And just like, because at the end of the day, I think what we're really meant to be doing when we're artists, we need to follow what excites us. And Michael Jackson will always excite me. There's always something around this man that will spark something within me. And I think it like aligns so perfectly with the timing of like this reemergence of energy around him that right now, that coincides with like me being in that week of like really getting back into it. It also talks a lot about perfectionism and basically the fear around being a beginner again, right? Like, if you start something new, even if you have been doing something creative before in your life and now it's something else, there is a fear around like beginning again, being seen as a beginner again, seeing yourself as a beginner again, seeing yourself as a person that hasn't figured it all out yet. It is uncomfortable because we are raised in a society where thriving for perfectionism, which is interesting that I'm bringing up Michael Jackson because he was such a perfectionist, is the way to go. So we have trouble showing the process when we're still figuring it out because it makes us feel less than, because we are not where we want to be. And that can block you to the extent of not doing anything. So what it says here is perfectionism has nothing to do with getting it right. It has nothing to do with fixing things. It has nothing to do with standards. Perfectionism is a refusal to let yourself move ahead. Instead of creating freely and allowing errors to reveal themselves later as insights, we often get mired in getting the details right. We correct our originality into a uniformity that lacks passion and spontaneity. So just because we're building something and it doesn't look like we thought it would, and then we see someone else doing something similar and that looks so much better, we feel like we did it wrong. And then we don't even want to continue it anymore. We're like, okay, I don't have it. I'm not good enough, right? Or like, it feels like it will take so much time for me to get to that same level. But like it says here, instead of creating freely and allowing errors to reveal themselves later as insights, we just stop it altogether. And sometimes we just need to push through, and we just need to be the one that hasn't figured it all out yet, but is figuring it out, because it's better to not know and figuring it out than to not do it at all and never figuring it out and staying stuck where you are, right? So yeah, that is just like this video that I talked about, this Michael Jackson video that I made about Christ consciousness, is a perfect example for this, because I had the idea for about a week and I was like, oh my God, this is so much work. This is going to take so long. I don't know if I want to do it. And, like, I'm at this point quite well versed when it comes to like editing videos and stuff. But like, I wanted to do it in a whole different way. Like, I edited so much of Michael Jackson footage into the video and I wanted it to look good. So there was a lot of like, oh, like it doesn't look the way I want it. It doesn't look like yada, yada, yada. But I was like, at the end of the day, it's about the information. And Michael will speak for itself. Like, Michael's energy will speak for itself. And I'm just the conductor and I really just need to let it flow through. So at the end of the day, I just set my ass down and I did it. And I actually had so much fun doing it. Recording it took like maybe an hour or two, and then editing it took like 7 hours, which was insane, but the time flew by because I had fun doing it. And I think that is really what it is. Like, if you really get over this hump of like being scared of looking stupid, you will be rewarded. It also says here the perfectionist writes, paints, creates with one eye on the audience instead of enjoying the process. The perfectionist is constantly grading the results. And that's exactly what I just said, right? Like I didn't want to do it because I was like, oh, it's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be professional enough. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? It is about the product. It is about the meaning of the video. It is about, the download that came through for me to put it out there for other people to receive it, because that's what is meant to happen. And that's what art and being creative is about. The perfectionist calls this humility. In reality, it is egotism. Perfectionism is not a quest for the best. It is a pursuit of the worst in ourselves, the part that tells us that nothing we do will ever be good enough. If you really look at it from this perspective, it makes so much sense why so many people that want to be creative are stuck. Because we are fighting with the worst parts of ourselves that tells us that we are not good enough, wherever that voice comes from. If it was a parent, if it was a sibling, if it was a teacher, if it was a friend, that is what we're fighting with. And that is what really keeps us from doing what we're meant to be doing. We deny that in order to do something well, we must first be willing to do it badly. Instead, we opt for setting our limits at the point where we feel assured of success. Living within these bounds, we may feel stifled, smothered, despairing, bored. But yes, we do feel safe. And safety is a very expensive illusion. So this temporary fix of feeling safe, of not doing what you are called to do just because you are afraid of not doing it correctly, will be exchanged with a feeling of defeat. It will be exchanged with a feeling of failure. Because at the end of the day, what is meant to happen is you doing it regardless. And that is what I'm really trying to get myself to do at the moment with these new videos that I'm making. As blocked artists, we are unrealistically expect and demand success from ourselves and recognition of that success from others. Once we are willing to accept that anything worth doing might even be worth doing badly, our options widen. If I didn't have to do it perfectly, I would try ... That is maybe a question that you could ask yourself. That is something that I journaled about. If I didn't have to do it perfectly, I would try. What would it be? Things that came up for me were singing, acting. And then this chapter also talks about jealousy, which I thought was really interesting, because that's really, the distinction between jealousy and inspiration sometimes is difficult for us to grasp. In total and in general, the way I see jealousy is that it is expansion that is coming into our awareness to show us that what that person that you are jealous of doing, having, being, coming into your field to show you that it is accessible for you as well. It is coming as expansion. It is coming to show you can do that too. If it is already in your field, if you are already perceiving it because it comes close enough to you for you to see it and feel that jealousy, reframe that feeling from negative to positive and see it as that. It is coming to you to show you can do it because you put it out there. You maybe thought one day, I want to be a content creator. And then you're seeing a video of someone doing something and that makes you feel jealous. That is the feeling of expansion. It is a feeling that wants you to realize that if you are trying to do this, you are going to expand in the version that you need to become in order to continuously do this. You need to expand into the version that is a content creator. And that person that makes you feel jealous about it is a conductor. This person is your personal expander for you to realize that you can expand into this. In the book, it says, I have long regarded jealousy as my greatest weakness. Only recently have I seen it for the tough love friend that it is. Jealousy is a map. Each of our jealousy maps differs. Jealousy is always a mask for fear. Fear that we aren't able to get what we want. Frustration that somebody else seems to be getting what is rightfully ours, even if we are too frightened to reach for it. It's expansion. It's a positive thing. Whenever you feel jealous again, try to see it as that and see what comes up for you. Try to flip that narrative and be like, ooh, okay, I feel jealous about that person right now. What is this trying to teach me? I want to do something like this. Maybe not the exact same thing, but I want to. Maybe it's just you see someone being seen in their full expression, and that's what is sparking the jealousy because that's what you want to feel. That's what you want to experience. It can be literally anything, and it's really just about you figuring out what it is and then going for it. And then there are many, many tasks, obviously, like in every week. Complete these phrases. As a kid, I missed the chance to blank. As a kid, I lacked blank. As a kid, I could have used blank, and so on, which was just also really interesting to get into because that is maybe also, it also correlates to what you're still jealous about when other people are doing these things. Because as a child, we are in our full expression, and our life circumstances maybe don't allow us to follow every self-expression hit energy tickling coming up for us. Now you can. It's never too late. So unfortunately, the video ended there because I didn't have enough storage on my phone. So I just remember that I was about ending the video anyways. So it was a beautiful week. It was an interesting week. Please comment, share, follow, send it to someone that would be interested in it. And I see you next week.